My name is Peter Vanham, and I'm a US media lead at the World Economic Forum and author of Before I Was CEO. Very often I also had a bit of an idea of successful CEOs as being larger than life, sort of mythical figures, but I also questioned whether these were sincere people, whether they were not just driven by profits. And I found that very often actually the opposite is true. So these tend to be people that are very well rounded and that have a very fulfilled life, both personally in their values and their principles, as well as in their professional life. So that was perhaps a bit of a surprise. There were a few very memorable interviews, and I think we saw today a reenactment of one of them, namely with Paul Bulcke, the CEO then of Nestlé, now the chairman. And he shared his journey, which was one of basically going off the corporate radar out into then developing countries. And so when he was explaining about why he did that and how he did that, and the experience that he got there, selling goods in the market and making his own commercials, learning to deal with new culture and with high inflation, very volatile environment, that was very, very memorable. I think a good network of contacts is probably one of the most important things to have as you build your way in your career. And the reason is that many people will choose to either go in the slipstream of somebody who's already very successful, or else to build a team of people around them that they can trust and can work with on their way to success. I do have plans to write another book, and I think it will be more about humanistic elements of business leaders, and most particularly as the most interesting aspect of the first book turned out to be the personal relationships of leaders, particularly with their husbands and wives. That's something I'd like to get in deeper in the next book that I think will be called something like Power Couples and how they make it.